is Andreas Kisser from Sepultura, and you're watching the Impact Channel. Destroy!
Greetings everyone, our guest today is Andreas Kisser from Sepultura. Hello Andreas, nice to see you again.
How are you? Good to see you.
Welcome back to Europe first of all.
Thank you.
How is the tour going so far?
Amazing, fantastic tour. It's really a celebration. A big thank you to all the fans that supported Sepultura for so many years. And it's been very emotional, very fantastic. It's amazing.
You're gonna have the last show in Brazil.
Yeah.
And do you have any special plans for that gig?
Yeah, I mean, we like to do a big celebration, invite all the ex-members, including the Cavalera brothers. We are already in some communication between managers and stuff, and I hope it happens, you know, plus bands, friends that we have, you know, conquered along the way, to do like a big Sepul Fest like we're doing here, but in Brazil, in São Paulo, to do the very last show with everybody involved. Let's see what happens, you know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
What do you think about the re-recorded first 3 Sepultura albums?
I don't think anything. I mean, it's a weird choice that they had. I think artistic value is zero. You know, maybe they're going for some money or something, but there's no reason to do something like that, you know. I much rather prefer the Troops of Doom, the new band from Gyro, which are doing a really amazing tribute to that era. Very honest, you know, very doing new stuff, writing new music, and of course. But you know, if they're having a good time, so let it be. I don't care, man. You know, I just think it's totally unnecessary. It's really very disrespectful from themselves, for their own selves in the past. You know.
I see.
It's weird to see a guy who always saying, "Oh, I did this, I did all that. I'm so creative, and I did everything by myself," and doing this shit like re-recording riffs that we did 30, 40 years ago. It doesn't, you know, click the rhetoric with the example, you know.
I see.
But I mean, whatever. I just don't think that artistic value is zero.
Will you consider releasing Sepultura songs even after the last show? Singles
Yes,
or albums?
we're working on new songs.
Oh, great.
With Grayson. We have an amazing chemistry. He's an amazing musician, an amazing guy. We're gonna put together with the live album that we are recording every show. The idea is to put together 40 songs in 40 different cities around the world. And together we're gonna have 4 songs, new songs with Grayson in this big package, you know. So yeah, we're working on it. But we don't have anything old, you know, hidden or something. Roadrunner put it out already, everything that we have in the vaults there, you know.
And what can we expect from these new songs?
Sorry?
What can we expect from these new songs?
The unexpectable. Wait and see.
Okay.
Who knows?
And which has been the best show so far on the tour?
Dude, all of them. It's been a really, I think the special one, of course, was the first one in March 1st in Belo Horizonte, our hometown, Sepultura's hometown. First show with Grayson, you know, all that situation with Eloy and stuff. It was very emotional to be home with family and friends. And the first show of this tour in Paris also was amazing, you know, really set up the tone of what this tour is going to be, you know, and very special, very emotional, very positive, you know, a celebration really, the way it's supposed to be.
How would you describe the legacy of Sepultura?
I don't know. I think the legacy is to believe in yourself. Brazilian band doing death metal, thrash music, and we did what we did. You know, we put Brazil on the map, and I think that's our biggest legacy. You know, to show that it can be done. To go and play with our idols, with Metallica, with Black Sabbath, with Ozzy, coming from Brazil with our music, you know. Up to that point, a lot of people thought that was impossible to achieve, you know, and somehow with a lot of work, a lot of faith in ourselves and focus, here we are.
You have also inspired many musicians worldwide. If you could pick the bands for a Sepultura tribute album, who would you like to hear to cover your songs?
Oh, it would be great to see Metallica doing.
Oh, yeah.
Metallica, U2, David Matthews. That would be interesting, you know. I mean, of course, some metal bands and hardcore bands could do, and we have some tribute albums that are really interesting, you know, like Swedish or Norwegian band playing Hata Mahata. You know, it's interesting to see the different rhythms and concepts of rhythms, you know. But yeah, it would be great if those big bands that influence us, you know, Judas Priest, we do a cover from Sepultura, it'd be amazing.
What are your favorite Sepultura albums by decade?
It's really hard to say, man. I mean, every album is a step forward from the previous one. We couldn't have anyone without the previous one, you know. So, but I think for me, the most important album of all is Against. In 1999, with a new singer, new managers, a new band, a new Sepultura, a new everything, you know, that kept the band alive as Sepultura. He opened the future that we are here now. It was at that moment, you know. That moment we could destroy Sepultura, we could break up, we could change the name, we could do anything, you know.
Yeah.
But we kept ourselves together. Derek came into the group. We're still here, especially me, Paulo, and Derek, you know, holding up and rebuilding Sepultura from zero, basically. And here we are.
And what was it like having the first rehearsals with Derek back in the day?
It was great. It was very tense, it was very difficult, but very pleasurable as well, you know, because we developed something very quickly, you know. It showed us a way, and that was very satisfying, that we had motivation to continue with this guy, with his new ideas, new looks, new everything, you know. That was very exciting. So we kind of losing our chains from the past, you know, and really living and enjoying the moment.
And what was it like to perform with Derek the first time? Do you remember the first concert with him?
Yeah, we did 3 shows in California as Troops of Doom, believe it or not. Just like for friends and, you know, press and stuff. It was very tense, but it was great as well because we survived. We played. A lot of friends from bands were there supporting ourselves, you know, so it was great. It's really cool.
Which Sepultura album do you consider to be the most underrated one?
I don't know, maybe Alex. It's an album that we're going through. It was the first album with Gian Dolabella, you know, with a new drummer. And it's like a concept album, very much deep on the Clockwork Orange world and stuff. I think that album, we don't play too many songs from that album, you know, so maybe it's our fault too. Should play more.
What are your plans after the farewell tour?
I don't know yet, and I don't care right now, you know. There's so many different possibilities, which is great. Freedom, you know, to go anywhere. Of course, music. I have so many friends that I could start new projects. You know, it's so many possibilities. I still study music a lot, especially classical guitar, that can open new possibilities for the future. Me and Derek, we have this idea to do something on the reggae world. We love reggae. We have this idea for many years, as a joke, you know. We have a name for the band, we have everything, a concept. Who knows, we can do something on that direction. And but I don't want to decide anything now. We still have another 2 years ahead of us. I want to enjoy the moment like we're doing today, you know.
And what's the name of this new project with him?
I cannot say now.
Okay. What about your other projects?
I have De La Tierra, which is still working. Of course, I can dedicate a lot more time for that. I have a radio show in São Paulo with my son for 12 years now. But everything I do parallel to Sepultura. The only difference we'll have a little more time to put on the parallel stuff that I have. So yeah, everything is going to be flowing.
Do you still have Kisser Clan?
Yeah,
okay.
Kisser Clan. We're just going to do a first show in in 2 years basically. When I finish the tour here in Europe, we have a show in São Paulo, and it's great. I play with my son, covers, you know, from Beatles to Napalm Death.
You had a chance to work with different artists so far. Who's on your bucket list to work with?
I don't know, man. There's so many out there. I don't have a specific one. I like that kind of thing really to happen kind of spontaneously, like with Carlinhos Brown, when we call him to work in Roots. We were at this MTV event, the VMB, VMAs, but VMB, Video Music Brazil. the Video Music Awards where they give you, you know. And then we met Carlinhos Brown there, and we were working on Roots. We want a percussionist. The percussionist we thought about didn't work out, and he was there and stuff, and it happened that way, you know. And most of, I think, of the partnership we have and the collaborations will happen that way, you know, talking or having a, you know, a party or backstage and stuff, you know. So very spontaneous, nothing really too much, you know, plan, of course.
Before recording the album Roots, you also spent some time among Native Americans for a few days or maybe a few weeks, right?
2 days only,
days
just to
only.
recording,
Okay.
specifically for to recording.
What was it like?
It changed my life
Okay, what was it like?
for better. It was great. I learned that the watch, it doesn't mean anything. You know, time is a totally different concept. Time runs differently. You have a different perspective of nature, of the animals, of the people and stuff, and it was like a life-changing experience, you know, for the better, to interact more with nature and to take care about yourself and community idea, what is a family, what is a city, what is a nation, you know. Everything is connected there, the way they deal with nature and stuff, you know, and it was a fantastic experience. Not only the music that we managed to do together, but just the 2 days that I was there was amazing.
Yeah, Igor also told me back in the day that he got some really special experience with them. For example, the way they treat animals, you know, they are not supposed to keep animals, they are supposed to hunt them.
Yeah.
Because they have a chance to run for their lives or attack back.
Yeah, when they need it, yeah. And it's great. Sounds that I never heard before, you know, animals and stuff, and you start, really imagination flies. It's great.
Would you compose a soundtrack if you had a chance?
I did.
You did do that.
Oh yeah, I did in Brazil. I have 3 movies that I worked in Brazil with different musicians and different soundtrack specialty guys and stuff. And I love it. 3 movies, I did like 2 TV series. And it's great because that's why we did Dante Alighieri and Alex, from the experience I had doing soundtracks. Because you have different limits. The director comes and says you have 35 seconds to write something. 35.8, which is the length of the image. So during that limits that you have, you get more creative. If you set up, you know, it's like the MacGyver effect. You know MacGyver, the guy who did like this crazy stuff with little things. You know, that's how I felt doing soundtrack. Because the director of the movie is the dictator of the movie, as his image. You know, so he gives you a reference. Oh, I want this more like Smashing Pumpkins or Black Sabbath, or you know. You listen to the song and stuff, and he gives you the direction. He's the director, you know, per se, you know. So you, inside those limitations, you get a lot more creative, and it's great for us on Dante, on Alex as well, because expanded. I mean, on Dante, we never will do like a version of the Ninth Symphony from Beethoven, not on Dante, on Alex. If it wasn't for the story, you know. So that inspired us to go and work with an orchestra and do like a version and play the you know, on the guitar and make our adaptations and stuff. It was great. You know, it's very inspiring. If you have, you cannot go up to this point, so how you gonna work that to get to there, you know? So you have to work with those elements, you know, and that's what art is all about, you know. See things that other people don't, right? In different ways.
If Sepultura's music was transferred into a different kind of artwork, like a painting or exhibition, a movie, what do you imagine for that?
I think you're the first one to make a question like this in 40 years. Congrats. Yeah, that's a very hard question, man. There's so many artists, you know. I don't know, sometimes Picasso or Dali, you know, we have albums like Machine Messiah or Schizophrenia that are more like the Dali vibe, you know, progressive and stuff, like many colors and situations, and or an album like Alex, which is more like Picasso for me, you know, like few straight lines or the old trash. But I like both, you know, Picasso and Dali, because they really expanded our possibilities, you know. That Dali with lots of details and stuff, and Picasso with just like a few lines, you know, which is amazing.
Do you know this Polish artist, Baksinski?
Oh yeah.
When I heard your album, The Mediator Between Head and Hand Must Be the Heart, I had kind of that imaginary in my head.
Yeah. That was a Brazilian artist who did that. With the charcoal and stuff. It's amazing too.
What does art mean to you?
Being human. Our relation with nature and feelings, relationships with people. It's a feeling that you can express through colors and sounds and shapes, you know, and at the same time it's universal, it's very personal. You know, when an artist gets something out very personal, is it immediately being universal, you know, relating to people in many different ways. And it's a very human factor and one of the best, I think, capabilities of a human being.
If you should represent humanity to an intelligent alien race, what would you choose to show them?
Represent humanity?
Yes. Could be any kind of art or anything that you...
The atomic bomb.
Wow.
Right? Stupidity. The human being is that. That's what we're going through. Israel, Russia, Ukraine, Africa, Brazil and Venezuela. This is unfortunately the human being that don't make art. The human beings that make war, you know. Hence the phrase, make art, not war.
No, that was a powerful answer. I think you already answered my second question. What makes you proud and ashamed when you think about mankind?
Yeah, I think that, you know, you see Oppenheimer, the movie, or you read about history and how winning is portrayed or losing. Everybody lose. There's no winning in war, you know. But I don't know, the human being, I still believe, I still very positive about. You know, I have my family, I believe in the future. I believe we have so many great people that are having great possibilities besides war and religion and dividing people, you know. Art unifies, you know, music unifies. Sepultura visited 80 countries in the world in 40 years, from Indonesia to United States to South Africa to Armenia, you know, to Cuba, everywhere. Music unites people. Art unites people. This is the way we should go, you know. If we have a war, let's have like a guitar duo. That's the war we like.
If you had a chance to eliminate anything from mankind, what would it be?
Wow, it's a hard question. Nothing, I guess. We are what we are. We have to go through this. I mean, life it's a school. It's a learning experience. From born to dying, you know, it's a learning experience. So might as well go through all, bad and good. Don't change anything. Just respect what you are.
You have a great collection of guitars. What do you like to use in the studio? What do you prefer to use at home? And what do you prefer to use on the stage?
On stage, on tour, newer guitars. So they hold up better, electronics and everything. On the studio, I like to bring my vintage guitars, my Charvel, my Jackson, my old guitars that I used in my early days. Some other, you know, ESP that I have, Fernandez. I bring everything to the studio because you never know what can sound good or not. Because it depends on your day. Everything's relative what you feel of the day. It's not because it's on 10, tomorrow is going to be on 10. Maybe it's 9, you know, like treble and, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, nowadays I have my newer Jackson, which I have a signature series that was released recently by Jackson with the artwork from Quadra and stuff. I have a Van Halen guitar, signature model as well, the yellow and black, the Bumblebee. I have an acoustic guitar from Yamaha, the Silent, that I use as well. And yeah, my newer instruments on the road and the older to the studio.
You have a signature wah pedal, but it's kind of hard to get nowadays. Do you have any plan to expand the distribution?
I hope so, yeah. We're working with that, with Jackson, and really make sure we can do that, because it was a really overwhelming response, you know, it was great. Really thankful to all of you.
Do you have any plans to maybe expand the possibilities with that pedal, adding more modifications to that?
I mean, we're gonna release a Cry Baby 40-year anniversary next year. It's the same pedal, but a little different artwork, you know. Because I'm very satisfied with my pedal, man. I'm so happy with it, with everything, you know. So no need to change.
What do you like to do when you're not busy with music?
I like to stay home. I like to watch movies. I like to watch football, sports. Stay with my girlfriend. Stay with my family. You know, travel to put the head on somewhere else. I like to meditate, read books, whatever, you know. Live.
What's your favorite football team?
São Paulo Futebol Clube Xará.
And where do you like to go for hiking or recharging your batteries?
Anywhere. I like to walk a lot. I have my bicycle here as well. I like to ride a bike everywhere. But I like nature, you know, the trees and hiking in the forest and stuff, or the beach. It's amazing too. Places like that.
Have you seen any good movies lately?
One of the best movies I've seen lately was it's called M.A. like Mother of Blues with Viola Davis, and talks about this blues singer traveling in the States and talk about racism and the structure of society. It's a fantastic movie. One of the best movies I've seen. I hope I pronounced it right, but I think it's Ma from Viola Davis. If you connect both, I think you can find the movie. It's on Netflix, I think.
Okay, I'll check it out. And any good books that you read lately?
Yeah, I just bought recently a book called Fake with AI. I mean, fake, you know, fake. Because this is a subject that's really in vogue right now, you know, artificial intelligence, what's the part of it in society, in art, in music, in doing things, in text, in writing and everything. And just to understand a little more different perspectives on the subject, you know.
What do you think about this whole AI phenomenon?
It is another thing, you know. I remember when I put my vinyls away because CD was the future. And when TV came, people said radio was dying. Here we are, you know. We shouldn't be afraid or scared of any new technology because AI depends on ourselves to put there. You know, if AI sucks all the information from the internet and put it back, it's gonna be like a
reflection.
Yeah, it's gonna get to a point of like, oh, what is it? You know, I create my own reality kind of vibe. You know, but yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, we should be careful, of course, like any other new technology. But day by day, really try to see where we can be helped by them, you know, by this new technology, and not be afraid of it.
If you compare the times with your teenage years and you compare it with the recent times, do you see any changes in the way people are listening to music nowadays?
Oh yeah, totally. Nowadays you have the streaming service and stuff, you know. On my days, you have one place to buy the album, every album. My dad bought classical album there, my mom bought, you know, country music. I bought my rock albums in one store only, you know. So total control, right? The label and everything was only one source, basically. Each town had their own record store or two. I mean, you know, it's there, you know. People making lines to buy the album and stuff, you know. Nowadays, no, you just click, you have the whole album, you know. There's no interaction with friends and stuff, you know. Hey, you want to be there? You know, let's get together. Metallica album comes at midnight, you know. Album midnight, let's meet somewhere, you know. It's a whole interaction that is around the human interaction, you know. But it is what it is. I mean, there's no nostalgia, you know, just the way it is.
Leave any last words to your fans?
Thank you so much for the 40 years of support. We love you, haters and lovers, and I hope to see you all on the road to celebrate together with us, all right? Thank you so much.
Andreas, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry we had to meet in such circumstances.
No worries.
But all the very best in the
It's a
future.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.